Some lenses have 3D pop, as you already know, others don't. Right now, we are on a very bad combination for 3D pop, in my opinion. We have the Samyang 35mm 1.8 on the Sony a6700. A flat lens that should not give us any, and a sensor that should not provide us with 3D pop at all. We got a pretty poppy situation here. I made a video in the almost exact same spot with it was the Fuji XF 35mm 1.4, and with this lens we saw a lot of 3D pop, and well, right now I'm not so sure about that. This scene looked so good and so poppy on the Fuji X-T3 with the Fuji 35mm 1.4, but now I do not even like the look in general. I don't know what it is with this camera. If you prefer a flat look, and if you prefer this distinctive Sony a6700 look, then of course this camera is good for you. But I do not like the look so much. It doesn't matter what kind of lens you mount onto that. I made a video with the Viltrox 85. It was alright, but it was not Fuji-like at all, and not Sony A7S-like. I don't know what it is about this camera that I do not like the look. And of course, it's totally subjective. But now, if I am that close to the camera, of course there won't be any pop. Maybe some tomato sauce around my mouth, but no pop. But if I step a little back from the camera, there should be some. At least there was some pop on the Fuji. And you see the difference, don't you? Of course you do. You see the difference between these two systems. The problem being, I do not believe that there will be any pop on the A7S. But let's try. If, and chances are I'm not, if I am in focus, I believe it should be good. I'm looking like Ed from Maniac Mansion. How can that be? Why do I look like Ed? In my field monitor I still look like Ed from Maniac Mansion. I believe his name was Ed. It was the nutty professor that kidnapped Sandy, and this is why well, the guys tried to get into the Maniac Mansion. Maybe you know the game. It's a classic from when I was a child. Well, right now, if I get even further away from the camera, there is a good possibility that this mighty sensor will give us 3D pop on the Samyang 35mm 1.8. You've seen the footage from the A6700, and there was nothing, right? So, but on this system, I don't know. I will see when I look at the footage later, but I think there is something at least, and I made a video about this already, about the medium format look, and this camera almost has the medium format look. Oh, a mosquito. This camera almost has the medium format look, so chances are that this also contributes to that look at least. So this is often, maybe it's mistaken for 3D pop. I do not think that there's real 3D pop. We will change perspective and we will see what we get. So we changed perspective a little bit, and right now, besides all the backjaw, fogs, and what the hell? Why are they still here? June is gone. As I was saying, while the possibility of stepping into badger, fox, raccoon, hedgehog duty just multiplied, I got another guest here, my beagle duck, and he creates another possibility of stepping into some doggy business. So we are now in a little bit different perspective, and I think this is a perspective that is potentially poppy. So what do you see? What do we see? Do we see 3D pop, or do we see the medium format look? I believe I at least see the medium format look, but I'm not so sure about the 3D pop. It can, well, I even saw 3D pop on the 35mm G Master lens, and this Cannot be, right? It's overcorrected. It's overly sharp, but it's sharp in the center. And I believe that this lens is sharp in the center too, at least when looking at the MFT charts. So maybe Dirty Photography Club can say something about that if you're watching this. Well, we should discuss MFT charts and how, well, maybe the center sharpness works into our 3D pop. What do you think about that? So, but right now, I really like the look, no matter if it has 3D pop or not. And, well, I'm guessing it has a little. I will tell you right now if it has. That was what I saw when I looked at the footage, right? So, I think that's enough for this video. Maybe I will change the perspective another time and we will see what this perspective brings us then. Then I will get my beagle and the other dogs into their rooms so that they can have a good night's sleep. Let's do that. So another possibility of getting some 3D pop is here, if I am in focus at all, because I really do not trust the A7S anymore. I'm debating buying an A7S III. I don't know. Because I want this effect, and these are the only cameras with a high pixel pitch. Like, so it's either this A7S or the A7S III. I do not think that the A7S II will be of good value. So, but the A7S III is so expensive for what? So I think this should be it for today. I hope you've seen something I will check out when I watch the footage now, and we will see if this combination, in comparison to the A6700, well, was poppy. So, see you in the next one.